Sahar TV. He really likes pointing out everything that's going on with the Muslim communities. Again, I'm okay if they get permission to do like a festival or something. I don't agree with forcing any kind of political belief on anybody. That's where I disagree. That's where I disagree. But this is Muslims tried to impose Sharia law in U.S. and Americans sent them flying. Well, I doubt that. There are a lot of white people in the U.S. who think it's okay to have a completely different law in our governing law, which is different from everyone else's law. Yeah, whatever.
Look at all of these girls in Gaza with Arabic in the background. What?
Oh, it's gonna be. No, it's not Gaza. It's not Gaza.
Sorry? Oh, this is Texas? What? Now check this out. This is from Mecca. Oh, sorry guys. This is from Texas as well.
We have enough authority and we have enough power. We are obliged as Muslims to take the authority away from the people who have it and implement the Sharia.
So you believe America, Great Britain, all of Europe will be Islamic states living under Sharia eventually?
Inevitably.
We need somebody like Mamdani to be the mayor of New York.
You know, I said it. I've said it. Mamdani is there, literally finished what they started in on 9/11. He's finishing what they started. I mean, New York is falling apart. I mean, it's going to be a ruin. It's going to be an absolute ruin. And then another politician's going to get voted in, and then he's going to try to repair it. And then everyone's going to say, oh, it's this new politician's fault that everything's destroyed, even though they had a long time with a failing mayor.
And that is a victory for the Ummah.
And it's not going to happen in Texas. It's not going to happen in the United States of America.
Oh my gosh, he sounds American. I'm not gonna lie. When you have like the MAGA mind, that's what I always hear in my head. Oh, come on, it's all America. It's all America. It's a Hulk Hogan type voice. It's a Hulk Hogan type talking. Oh my freaking gosh.
Our Father who art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
How you doing? This is Sahar
Yes, I know the Lord's Prayer.
TV, and welcome to the Islamification of the United States episode. I don't even know what. So all the videos you're going to see today are coming out of the United States of America. Let's watch. Now, I know what a lot of you might be thinking. This must be London. But
always want to be in the live chat. Well, welcome. I'm having a good time here. I'm having a good time. Again, if people get permission for things, it's not bad. It's not bad. But I'm getting to the point where it's like, are they even asking for permission? I mean, just come on, tell me.
No, guys. This is New York City. Watch.
الصبات في الأمر والعزيمة على الرشد ونسألك موجبات رحمتك وعزائم مغفرتك اللهم إنا نسألك شكر نعمتك وحسن عبادتك اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات اللهم اجعل بلادنا هذا آمنا مطمئنا نحبك.
Now, you have to ask yourself this one question. Why are you praying outside and not inside a mosque? Why is there this need to block streets and block roads and get permits from the police to do it out in the open?
Well, again, if they got permits, it's fine. It's fine if they got permits and permission. I don't think, well, they're in New York, so of course they're going to get permits. I mean, the mayor doesn't care about the people of New York. But of course they're going to get permits. But as long as they get permits, it's fine. It's fine. If the mayor wants to approve of people not getting to work in a place where nobody wants to work because he believes in like centralized everything, so why would you work if everyone's going to get paid the exact same? You know, that kind of thing. So yeah, this kind of stuff would if they get permission, it's not a big issue. It's not a big issue. It's just people just giving up. People just wanting to give up.
If not for dominance, if not to show you the Christian people and the Jewish people, we control the streets. Not you. Once again, this is in London. This is New York, Washington Square Park on Eid. Take a look at how many people.
Allahu Akbar.
The thing is, it's like if Christians or God forbid, Jewish people, like they went to Afghanistan, even Pakistan, Iran, and they tried to get permission and tried to do something like this, they'd start it. And then probably 10, 20 minutes, there would be a mass shooting or explosion that took place in the crowd. Let's just be honest, because it's a good thing to remove well, infidels. It's a good thing to remove them. It's a good thing to remove them. So everyone who's there would basically be like, this is a perfect chance for me to get thousands upon thousands of good points so I can get a better, purchase a better lot in heaven, you know? Because you have to buy your way there. I mean, I don't understand that concept where you have to do good deeds in order to get to heaven. Just be a good person. That should be enough. Yeah, even if they get a permit, it's still wrong because roads don't belong to one religion. Again, movies get that argument doesn't make sense to me because movies get permission to close down roads. Festivals get permission to close down roads. It makes sense if you request permission and it's granted that you get to do it. That's just my mind towards it. Is it annoying towards everyone? It's the same kind of thing for seeing a massive statue of like Krishna or Hanuman pop up in the West. I would see it as an annoyance. I would see it as an annoyance. They probably got permission to put it up, but I would see it as an annoyance in them showing that they don't want to get involved. I would be like, okay, they got permission for this, but for me, I'd be like, that they don't want to be involved with the rest of society, and I would not want to affiliate with them. I would see them as a net negative to society, but I wouldn't have a problem with it in general because they had got permission. But I would hate them internally. Like, it's just like, why? Why would you do this? Why would you obstruct the road? But that's the thing. It's like, for me, that's just how I feel. They had permission. They had permission. I'd feel the exact same way if a movie was shooting. I mean, I worked on a film over in San Francisco, and they had to shut down all of California Street for like a few weeks. They shot most of it during the night, but it was shut down for several weeks as they were shooting it. And yeah, I mean, a lot of people were annoyed by that. But that's the thing. It's just like, that's just how it works. That's how my mind works on that. Rules should be the same for every group, no matter the religion. Exactly. I don't believe that if you're in a nation, you respect the laws of that nation. Just because you have a different religious belief or a different home nation doesn't mean you follow your religious texts. Or if you're from India and you come to the United States, you're not going to allow it. If you commit a crime, you're following U.S. law, not Indian law. That's just how it works.
My God.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
And what's a more symbolic thing than to do it in Washington Square Park? You know, a pretty famous place in New York City, a symbol of Americanism. What is this? Why is this done in the public? Let's listen to what these Muslims from the United States have to say to you.
From Dearborn to New York, only one nation, under God.
Exquisite.
I wonder which nation he's talking about, because I don't think it's the American.
Yeah, my wife said he looks. I think he sounds it exquisite. It's like the way he says it. The way he says it is just like, oh my gosh, he better not come out.
Nation. I think it's the Islamic one. Welcome to the biggest mosque in the United States at the moment. Right now, this we open on Eid. Come to us, come celebrate, come eat, come feast. This is how it starts, guys. First, they migrate. Then they start building their mosques everywhere. They start creating Muslim infrastructure sites such as schools, madrasas, whatever you want. And then more and more people come because, hey, now there's an Islamic infrastructure. Hijrah. We can move. That's how it starts. People need to wake the F up. Take a look at this mosque. Ginormous. let's see what this imam has to say about the intentions of Islam with the United States of America. Watch.
Even if they get a permit, it's still wrong because roads don't belong to one religion. Oh, yeah, you mentioned that before. I mean, again, it doesn't belong to one religion. It doesn't, but if they get permission, I mean, it's the same thing if Christians want to throw a festival, or if Hebrews want to throw a festival, or if Mormons want to throw a festival, they can get rights to do so. I mean, they don't, because most people have lives and they're not trying to force a political statement onto people. It's primarily one group that tends to do that. Well, at least I will say, at least in some cases, they are getting permission to do so. Not like the protesters who are standing in the middle of road, which is against the law. You're not allowed to protest in the middle of streets in the United States of America. Yet people are breaking the law and turning it into riots. But that's not addressed. It's just like they continue to use the word protests.
If we have enough authority and we have enough power, we are obliged as Muslims to take the authority away from the people who have it and implement the Sharia. Now, I hope that can come in a very peaceful way. I hope that we can do that in a way, where there's no bloodshed. The Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that, if the Muslims have authority and they have the ability to remove oppression, they must remove the oppression. So we believe man-made law is oppression.
So you believe America?
It's funny. To remove the oppression, they need to go in and instate their own personal law. And how can you be such a hypocrite? Like literally, anyone who hears this, how can they listen to this and not hear the hypocrisy of it? How can they not hear the hypocrisy of it? It's ridiculous. You're going to remove the oppression by literally oppressing everyone and forcing your own law onto every single nation you conquer. It's just, again, the hypocrisy of it is ridiculous. And the fact that people will hear this and not notice the hypocrisy, not be able to actually hear the hypocrisy.
America, Great Britain, all of Europe will be Islamic states living under Sharia eventually.
Inevitably. This will happen. This is the promise of God.
You're confident it's going to happen?
I'm not confident. I'm convinced. I'm 100% certain that the Sharia will be implemented in America and in Britain one day.
Clear as day. I have no doubts. Sharia will be implemented in the United States and in the UK at some point. We just have to be patient. Hey guys, if you'd like to support me and this YouTube channel, please make sure to check out my Buy Me Coffee.
You just got to be patient.
Every single donation helps me keep going, get new gear, and get the best content out there for you. Thank you so much. Back to the video. So the American government wants to cut funds, tax funds, to Islamic purposes because after $4 billion in funding were sent to the Islamic community for the purpose of spreading it. Watch.
Texas is ground zero for the Islamic conquest of America. We are deep into a 1,400-year Islamic immigration conquest pattern, a patient, relentless strategy of settlement, infiltration, and eventual dominance. The Muslim Brotherhood's 1991 explanatory memorandum entered in federal court calls it a, quote, civilization jihadist process to destroy the West from within. That plan has been capturing Texas for over 35 years. We now have over 330 mosques. CARE calls them, quote, our infrastructure. Erdogan calls them, quote, our barracks. At least 650 Islamic nonprofits channeling influence. Dozens of Islamic scholars and banks promoting Sharia compliance finance. More than $4 billion in taxpayer funds routed to Islamic entities since 2017. Our own money fueling our demise.
Our own money fueling our demise. This sentence couldn't be more true. The more you fund Islam and Islamic growth in the United States, the probability of the United States existing as a Christian or a free democracy will reduce drastically. Here's what Representative Brandon Gill said about Islam.
Sharia law and radical Islam have no place in the United States. There's a fundamental truth.
That's the thing. Radical Islam. The radical Islam. That's the key factor that a lot of people, just like the whole illegal argument, like the illegal aliens being kicked out of our nation. A lot of people don't talk about the fact that they are illegal. They just say aliens. They just say immigrants. They don't say illegal. Like that's the thing. Like for me, I always clarify extremists. Like he's clarifying radical. The problem is people will remove the fact that he's saying radical and just assume he's talking about all Muslims as a blanket kind of statement. No, what you need are people that despise and don't agree with your policies and your politics and your laws as a nation. They don't belong in the nation. That's the thing. It's just like, again, words have meaning, and people choose to remove some words from context and choose to only listen to things that, like, again, you're always in the chat. I'm apparently Islamophobic because I hate extremism. I mean, that says more about some people who immediately assume extremism means all Islam. That says more about some people than it does me, because I always differentiate. I hate extremism in any kind of organization. In any kind of organization, extremism is evil, downright evil. But that's the thing. I mean, you have to know the difference. You have to actually hear the difference. You have to use your words properly, not using words that don't actually mean the definition you're explaining. Is that the correct way of saying it? You don't use the word propaganda for historical fiction. You don't use the word protest for when it's a riot. You don't use the word Nazi for when it's someone you disagree with. You don't call someone fascist just because they love their nation. That makes no gosh dang sense. That makes no gosh dang sense. But words have meaning, and people need to actually start utilizing the meaning of words, instead of just trying to go to these blanket statements, trying to use these extreme words for, or not using the words that are extreme enough to define something, like what they do with protests. They always go, oh, it's just a protest. It's fiery but mostly peaceful protest. No, the whole thing was a riot. It's a riot. There's a difference.
That I think we've got to recognize, which is that not all cultures are created equal, and they are not all equally compatible with America's governing framework. The reality is that radical Islam as a political ideology has a very different conception of freedom of speech than we have in the United States, a very different conception of freedom of religion, of separation of church and state, or of mosque and state. Mm-hmm. Islam as a political ideology is
inherently the state, is inherently the state.
Inherently imperialistic, and we see that now, unfortunately, all over the Western world.
It's time to stop being silent. You know, in silence, I have watched as parts of our nation has been invaded by a horde of ungrateful, hypocritical, and quite frankly, dangerous religious zealots belonging to the religion known as Islam. Now, I know there are going to be so many people out there that are going to hear this and they're going to get angry. They're going to call me a bigot or an Islamophobe, whatever that is. Or
it's going to be Uncle Tom as well.
Nazi or fascist, or some combination of any of those.
Is it Uncle Tom?
But right now, I am not concerned with that crowd of left-hand blinded, moronic nitwits. I'm speaking directly to those patriots like me who for so long have been silent.
No, it's not Uncle Sam. An Uncle Tom, Uncle Ben. I think it's Uncle. It's someone to do a person of color who is a patriot towards their nation, who doesn't fall into the. Sorry, my wife hates it when I do that voice. Who doesn't fall into the. Is it Uncle Ben? I know Uncle Ben is like a product, but yeah, I don't know what it was.
Largely silent, as Islam has put a slow and deadly chokehold on our schools, on our government, on our churches, on our media, and on many of our major American cities. All the way from 9/11 to the massive fraud that we see today in Minnesota that the leftists have just turned a blind eye to. We have watched as the tide has turned in favor of the religion that champions those things and those terrible deeds. We've watched as an entire generation of young people has been lied to, being told that Islam is the religion of peace. Well, those of us who know better understand that Islam is not, in fact, the religion of peace. It's more like the religion of pieces. Arms and legs and guts removed by bombs, and heads removed by blades. It's high time that Americans realize they are being invaded by hoodwinking and conquered by complicity. When we see high-ranking politicians put on hijabs and give the credit for...
Hijabs is the funniest way I've heard anybody say hijab.
Yeah, I was listening, it's just like, huh, has he never heard the word before? Did he just look it up? It was like, what is it those women wear? What is those things the women wear? I mean, I'm surprised he didn't say burqa. I mean, that's close enough. It's easier to pronounce than crap. What's the right word? Is it hijab? Hijab? Hijab. Yeah. With how he said it, my brain shut down. I was like, wait a minute, what is the word for it?
Building an American city to savages who had nothing to do with it. And when we see money-hungry clickbait publishers on social media declare the nation of Israel to be a bigger threat to America than shooting, burning, bombing, beheading Islamo-fascist extremists, Americans should know that we're in trouble. And the time is now to stand up and declare the absolute truth. And the absolute truth is this: Islam is simply incompatible with America. It's the opposite of American freedom and a threat to our way of life. So we have to rebuke the bitter wormwood of the deception of their false prophet and cult-like religion. Yes, I said it. It's a frightening proposition to stand up for this truth. Indeed it is. But I suppose it's no more frightening than the millions of times in history when ordinary Americans stood on truth, even when it cost them everything.
100% to the people who say that Israel is a bigger threat to the United States and the continuation of the United States than Islamists who seek to dominate you, remove all the freedoms that you currently have, and impose Sharia on you? What in the world are you on? I don't understand. Now listen to what this Islamist is saying about the victory of Mamdani in the New York City mayoral election. Watch.
The election of somebody like Mamdani, it is a game changer. We need somebody like Mamdani to be the mayor of New York. And that is a victory for the ummah. I'm jumping the gun here, but this is one of the narrow-minded that need to break here. And if you don't understand this, then honestly, you need to rethink through your understanding of civilizational strength. Everybody has a role to play. Muftis have a role to play, and politicians have their role to play. Let everybody be active in their role. This is a strength of our community. And of our greatest strengths, like I said, the political freedoms we have. The guy tried, not once, not twice, 8 times to shut our project down. I don't want to go into all the details because of time. He failed miserably at every single level, and the project is still going full steam ahead. Do you understand what I'm saying here? The governor of one of the largest states of the world, Texas, everything's big in Texas, wanted to stop. And he tried, وَمَكَرُ وَمَكَرَ اللَّهِ. Multiple ways he tried. Alhamdulillah, that bill did not pass because of multiple reasons. Of them, we employed our lobbyists, money in the lobby. You have to do this reality. And yet here we are still debating, can I vote or not? Does voting shirk or haram or kufr? Wallahi, we are in one galaxy and the world is a different galaxy. Literally, it's just disconnected from reality.
Yeah. He's basically saying that they are not compatible. They're the only ones in the right, and they need to correct the rest of the world. Completely different galaxies. Completely different galaxies. All of us infidels don't know what we're doing, and we need the correct teachings. That's basically it. That's basically it. I summed it up without all the word salad.
If we did not get involved, our masjid would have been shut down. Forget our project, right? These are some of the strengths. Very quickly, weaknesses. We have multiple weaknesses. Our biggest weakness is our percentage in this country. We are very disadvantaged. By the way, this is only in this country because across the Western world, mashallah, tabarakallah, percentages are rising to the point of it's terrifying them. Sweden, 10% Muslim. Oslo, Norway, 10% Muslim. Oslo, of all places. Vienna, the Ottoman Turks tried 200 years, they couldn't do anything. Vienna is 10% Muslim, mashallah, tabarakallah. 10% Muslim. England.
It's funny how he's talking about the Turks were savage monsters, and he's talking about them as if they're just like cousins. The Ottoman Empire was disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Women had no say. The women were turned into breeding factories. If a child was born that looked too much like, too much unlike the Turks, that child would be executed, only for the woman to be put back into the breeding farm again. It is absolutely disgusting. They have the archaeological finds of like they weren't even prisons. They were just like beds that the women prisoners would be basically tied down to for free reign for all the Ottoman Turks. How could you possibly talk about it in a positive light? It's like our people tried a little while ago, but now it's just like no, it's disgusting. It's outright disgusting. The Ottoman Empire was... They had no view on humanity because guess what? Anyone they conquered wasn't a human being. They weren't human beings. They were kafirs. They didn't have to worry. They didn't have to care. That screaming woman who just watched her children all die in front of her, her husband gets slaughtered and tortured. That's not a woman. That's gonna be a mother to another soldier. That's gonna be a breeder of our army. It's just insane. It's insane.
London, it is estimated 20%. I was in
And let's not forget about France, 10% Muslim, and going down the slump.
Australia a year and a half ago. Australia, Sydney, there are districts the size of maybe half of Austin that are 60% Muslim. Lakemba, go look it up. Lakemba in Sydney.
Again, I don't know what else to show you to make you believe that Islam's aspiration is to control and be the dominant religion in every country in the world. He's saying, listen, we are at a complete disadvantage in the United States. And then he goes out and calls the countries with a pretty big Muslim percentage in those countries. What is the intention of Islam in the United States? Why are they trying to migrate here? Why are they trying to take over Texas, which is indeed ground zero of the United States of America? That represents Americanism. And the fact that he said that Mamdani winning the election, a Muslim man, after 9/11 happened, is a victory for Islam, is just proof that this is another way to conduct jihad. By being a politician, by infiltrating from within, same as Dearborn, Michigan, same as Barack Hussein Obama, and then changing it for your benefit. That's how it starts. That's what's happening in France. That's what's happening in the UK.
See, this is why I know you're a troll. Ottoman Empire is far better. They didn't nuke human beings on large scale into major cities ever. This is why I know you're a troll. This is honestly why. Again, what happened in Japan, yes, that's absolutely horrific. Absolutely horrific. Did a ton of innocent people die? Absolutely. Would the Second World War would have continued on far longer? Possibly, if those nukes weren't dropped. There was nothing that could have possibly disheartened Japan than that act. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. That was such a barbaric act that Japan had no fight left. They had no, they literally, again, it was literally like the Ottoman Empire on how they would torture, completely torture all men, that they would roam into cities, the Ottoman Empire, and they would just lay down their arms. The men would get executed. The children over a certain age would get executed. All the women and little girls would get taken back as breeding stock. Tell me which one is far worse than the other? Which one is far worse than the other? And now Japan has one of the biggest allied nations with the U.S. With the U.S. I mean, heck, Godzilla is a moniker for the United States. I mean, look at the first one. What was Godzilla in the first film? The first time he was created, he was a monster. This sleeping beast that came to ravage the cities of Japan. And then in the next film, he's a benefactor. The third one, he's protecting Japan from the futures of around the world. It's again, you're a massive troll. You're a massive troll. And yes, if the Ottoman Empire had nukes, there would be no world to speak of. There would be no world to speak of.
And it's inevitable that it will come to the United States unless we change things drastically. Look at all of these girls in Gaza with Arabic in the background. What? Sorry? Oh, this is Texas? What? Not a single Texas flag on the ceiling. Palestinian flags? Ooh, they have those like trash.
It's so nice to see Palestine actually being, picked up, actually able to build, because with the Hezbollah constantly using the Palestinians as like bulletproof shields from the bullets, it's nice to see them actually build a school. It's oh wait, yeah, that's not Palestine.
Welcome, ya habibi. Bring some makluba, bring some shakshuka. Come, we eat today, we feast today. Yalla, come. Not to Texas, come to Texas, yes.
The Ottoman Empire was an empire built on taking advantage of women, slavery, genocide, oppression, and brutal killings. Yeah. That's literally what it was. Again, he's a troll. I don't think he actually believes any. There's no way. There's no way he says all this stuff without actually having any real awareness. That I can't believe someone can be that way. I just can't. The only explanation is he's a troll. That's the only thing that makes sense.
My God, this is from Texas, guys. These Muslims in the United States of America are against alcohol, gambling, and pork in a Christian country. Okay, watch.
And not violate the religion of Islam by selling and distributing products that are against the religion, because we should love what Allah loves and we should hate what Allah hates. This is what we're here for, and little by little, one by
my wife says, then go back. It's funny because it's like they love what Allah loves. They hate what Allah hates. Well, then get a gun and start shooting me. Infidel! Oh my gosh. That's the thing. It's just like you can't make blanket statements like that. You can't. It's again, when you're the most peaceful religion, you can't make statements like that. You just can't. Come on. Oh.
One, we're going to be visiting all of the stores in the neighborhood, particularly the inner city neighborhoods where the religion of Islam is ignored, by not violate.
And right now they're the minority. Just imagine when they are the majority. Oh my God, you're not gonna like that at all. Now check this out. This is from Mecca. Oh, sorry guys. This is from Texas as well. My bad.
Palestine was actually a Jew country until Jews had been living in... Palestine was actually a Jewish country, and Jews had been living in Palestine before Islam even existed. Then came Islamic invasion. Well, again, the whole thing with Islam was birthed because of, well, it's an Abrahamic religion for a reason. It was the son that was born, and God promised that he would, it would go on to yeah. So it's again mankind's fault. And everything throughout the Bible, most problems we have is all man's fault. The fact that we have a religion of such hatred towards everyone else is mankind's fault. The reason we have sin to begin with is mankind's fault. I mean, that's what's funny. It's like you look at it just like you're going through the Bible and then you see that one part and then you're like, oh, this is why we have a group of people that just hates everyone. It's this fault, because literally God promised Abraham that they would go on to be a massive people. Both his sons would go on to be massive people. It's just like, oh my gosh. That's how we got the problem. That's how we got the problem. Mankind's fault. Mankind's fault.
Another angle.
The USA empire built on enslavement of not just Africans, it was Asians as well. Like there were so many Chinese slaves that built the railroads. I mean, come on, learn your history, man. In exploitation of other countries. Dude, what are you talking about? That happens even now. The exploitations of resources from other nations. Venezuela, where we're utilizing their gas. Iran, we've constantly tried meddling in Iran. I mean, that's how they got their supreme leader in the first place. The U.S. tried to meddle in order to have a puppet in charge, and then we put someone in charge who didn't last that long, and then the supreme leader took over. I mean, come on. You only know like little bits and pieces, resources in neo-colonialism, but somehow USA is just morally correct. So true, man. Who said anything about morally correct? I said it was a bad thing that happened. But the thing is, there are groups of people who know when to stop. There are some people who don't view anyone as human who will never stop. You've got to see the difference. I know you're an absolute troll. There's no way you believe anything you're saying. There's a complete a difference here, a complete difference here. Like I've never said the U.S. is the best. There's no possible way. The U.S. has bad history. Did they have slaves? Absolutely. Are there slaves still to this day around the world? Absolutely. Are there slaves in Muslim nations? Yes. What are the nations that don't have slaves? The Western nation. Well, unless they're the elites, and then they apparently can do whatever they want because they're the top of the top of the top, normally politicians. But that's the thing. It's just like you're using buzzwords to try and build an argument, but I have all the facts and I have the understanding of the situation. You're trying to use buzzwords to try and win an argument when buzzwords and emotion don't do that. It's logic that does that. It's logic that wins an argument. But that's the problem. You keep escalating to something else to try and justify your delusional mindset of right now. So you're using information of the past. Like my issue was they're praising a heinous actions of the past. I'm not praising what the USA did to Japan. I'm not. I never once have. Like that's the thing. It's just like you're again. The whole thing started was because that one guy was praising the Ottoman Empire for what it was doing and saying it's like we're doing good right now. Like, no, what they did was not good. What they did was not good. I'm sure people would defend that. Slaves still exist in our Arabian and North Africa, and I'm sure people would defend that no matter what. Yeah, people will defend it. People will defend it. Like this thing. It's like no matter what logic you use, it goes over some people's head. Epstein files have any of that. Jeffrey Epstein was not a Jew or American. He was Muslim from what? What? Oh, yeah, okay. I have no clue what the heck he's talking about. I thought Epstein was Jewish.
So weird seeing symbols of democracy, symbols of Western liberties, and then seeing this ideology that doesn't belong in the United States, it belongs in the Middle East, or doesn't belong at all anywhere.
For us Muslims living in Western democracies, in the liberal secular democracies we find ourselves, we hope the world embraces Islam. We hope our lands embrace Islam and implement the Sharia of Allah. Yes, and I'll publicly say this. Jihad is a legitimate term. It's a noble term. We shouldn't be ashamed of it. Our Prophet ﷺ said, fight the pagans, fight the kuffar with your tongue, with your pens, and with your hands. There's times and places for different types of jihad. We know that if we were to do this from 0 to 100, the people are going to say, we're not going to have this type. Look Afghanistan, look other places. And people understand they're not going to go from 0 to 100 overnight. Suppose a Muslim party, an Islamic party, comes in and they start changing. You know what? We want to make sure there's no alcohol being sold. So can we, for the time being, because here's the point, any type of stuff we do, it's not astaghfirullah to substitute the Sharia. No, it's a program to eventually apply the Sharia.
To eventually apply the Sharia.
Yeah, again, who can listen to like the actual leaders, imams and things like that speaking of such things and try to defend it? Like there is no defense. It's hate being spewed. There are people who are absolutely extreme, who are completely lost in the some of the most hateful things of the Quran, and they lean into it wholeheartedly and then try to push that on everybody else. That evil is evil. That it's just plain and simple. Evil is evil.
This American patriot in Texas doesn't want to see people praying in the streets because he wants Texas to remain Christian and American. Watch.
There's only one name under heaven by which a man can be saved, and it's Jesus. It's not Muhammad, and it's not going to happen in Texas. It's not going to happen in the United States of America. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins, as we forgive those who sin against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from Islam. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory.
No, the thing is, it's like, so if I was to do something like this, they'd be too afraid to beat me. Because if you look, he's like 6 foot something. All these Muslims are like 5'1". They won't beat him until they have overwhelming odds. Right now, 20 of them wouldn't be enough. Wouldn't be enough. And if you just listen to his voice, you listen to his sound, and it's Texas. He's probably carrying. They'd be way too afraid. Now, if they were completely outnumbering him like 100 to 1, then they would do it. They would try to beat him up. They would try to take his gun, and then they'd try to take him out with it, and then say it was all in self-defense. That's literally what they would do. But they aren't going to do it with this situation because they're too afraid to go against someone who's so big, obviously stronger than them just genetically, and because they don't want to risk anything. Cowards.
Forever and ever. Amen.
American patriots are tired of the Islamic invasion, and I think there should be a lot more people, just like this guy and other patriots, who don't want to see America going to shit to protest against these things. Why do they have to pray outside? They
again, just carry around with you a bunch of that fried pig skins. Is it chorizo? No, chorizo is the pig meat. Chicharrones, the fried pig skin. That's what it is. It's literally like a chip. Fried pig skin, chicharrones.
can pray inside the mosque that was built specifically for praying. But why does it have to be outside, just like in the other videos that we saw? Because that's a sign and a show of dominance. This whole thing isn't done outside specifically so they can enjoy the fresh air. No, it's to show you that you don't control your own streets. They do. And it's a gradual process until Islam becomes the majority in the countries that you live in, and then they'll dominate you and subjugate you, unless, of course, you embrace Islam, and repent, of course. Thank you so much for watching the Islamification of the United States of America. If you'd like to support the YouTube channel, make sure you donate.
Yeah, it's just getting, every time I see he's, it's getting worse. It's getting worse. Every time I see his videos, it's like, what the heck? What the heck? Genetically just better? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Like that's the thing. Guess what? I am genetically superior to most people. Why? Because I'm not, well, again, I'm all white. I'm the white superior. My dad's from Mexico. Honestly, what makes some people have better genes than others? You breed out the weak gene. It's that simple. Both my parents are like 5 foot nothing. Me and my brothers are all over 6 foot. Are all over 6 feet. But why? Because we are genetically superior. It's that simple. I don't believe in a one nation world. Absolutely not. I believe in people being able to accept their neighbor and being able to fall in love with whoever they want and being able to have children with whoever they want without having to worry about whether it be caste, whether it be finances, whether it be religion, whether it be whatever kind of random nonsense people have. You will have genetically superior children. Guess what? If you mix, if you have mutts, yeah, and me and my wife's kids will be some absolute mutts. That's for sure. They'll be geniuses from my wife, and they will have the stature from me. Hopefully not my weight. I need to lose that. I need to lose that. But yeah, like that's the thing. It's like I know my kids would be blessed, absolutely blessed, like 100%. Why? Because I'm not with some random white person. I'm not with some random Hispanic. No. I stole myself an Indian. I got myself an Aryan. The alien. But yeah, everyone is not equal. Exactly. Everyone is not equal. But that's the thing. It's just like you have to learn to just accept who you are. You have to be happy with who you are, and you have to be able to get along with other people. I'm not as smart as the next person. I'm not as dumb as the next person. I'm not as strong as the next person. I'm not as weak as the next person. There's always someone smarter. There's always someone stronger. There's always someone faster. There's always that's the thing. You're gonna waste your life away constantly trying to I know what I am great at, and I know what I'm not great at. But the thing is, I know my I am blessed. I am blessed by my parents. That's the thing. It's like I have my parents to thank. I have my parents to thank.
You guys got a video? What's so bad?
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Wait on that.